This is part 7, I think, of this what if. I am in a cold, dark room in the corner of it, snuggled up in a blanket, and this is how I'll start off my what if. So let's get started with a recap of Naruto being injured by his own ability of activating the curse mark and mixing all of his chakra together, which causes black chakra to manifest, and he punched a hole in somebody, killing them in the process, while harming his body to a point that he was passed out for 2 weeks. In this passed out state, the the leaders of the village were talking about how unstable his power is and all that, and the third Hokage is scared for Naruto's well-being if he doesn't get the mark sealed properly. If it was not sealed properly, how Kakashi's seal did not work, since the power of it cannot be sealed by not a master of sealing jutsus. But it does work on Sasuke during this, since his powers are so unstable, and it can release Nine Tails' power onto the village if it's not kept checked. They have temporarily paused the Chunin exams. And the result of this, they had to explain to the other villages what's happening, and not this unstable power in the Leaf Village, and it can harm anybody as their excuse. They say that they probably can't get it back up in 2 months to 3, and all that. Of course, they're all like, but we need to keep it going and all that. Of course, Miss Village comes up with a compromise, saying if it doesn't work out in 2 months, the Chunin exams will continue in my village since we are not next up. Is that okay with you? All of them would agree, with Orochimaru not wanting to agree, of course, since he is the substitute for their village of the Sand Shinobis. But after they do this, Naruto would be met up with Jiraiya. They would explain who Jiraiya is, which he would automatically learn by how Jiraiya acts around women, that he's a pervert, giving us the name as Pervy Sage. Of course, Pervy Sage wouldn't like this name, so he would tell him to stop calling him that for the rest of their journey ahead. What they're looking for is the Great Seal Master, who helped the fourth Hokage create the Biju seal that's on Naruto, which only Jiraiya and a select few would know about her location. But she moves, and a seasonal pattern is how it works. So yeah, right now it's during the summer to almost turning into fall. So she would be in the middle of moving to place, which Jiraiya would be set off because of this, saying it will be harder to locate her since she doesn't go in the same road that she uses to get to the other place to other. So eventually they would find her, and they would wait for her at her fall base, which when she gets there, she would be introduced to Naruto, and they would be told to get ready for the training tomorrow. Naruto would be given a set of clothes that looks drapey, more like a robe than anything, from Priestess from Japan, pretty much, saying tomorrow, put that on, we're gonna start our training. And she also asked for him to lift up his shirt, which when he does this, he'd be confused. She would pat him down, saying you're fit, but you need to be stronger for this training. Go to sleep and get as much rest as you can. Of course, Naruto would be confused because of this weird request that she did. Of course, Jiraiya would explain that it's okay. Of course, it is early in the day right now, so Jiraiya gives Naruto some training. Naruto gets the training of summoning creatures, which is similar to sealing jutsus, so he would get a way easier time learning it, the main canon. So I would say In that span of day, this might be seemed over exaggerated, but he does have further training and more chakra control, even though he's full Uzumaki. But the curse mark does tamper with his jutsus, but since it feeds way off of chakra, he has massive amount, so it does not affect him as bad as Sasuke. Except whenever he uses it, it will drain all of his chakra and boost up his chakra that hurts, to the point that it hurts him. But of course, he would get up the next morning with him walking out with the robes on, and she would of course say, "Time for your first test." And she would have punched him in the stomach, sending him back, similar to the scene how Jiraiya flicked him, but he'd be smashing through door by door, and he would have fell down, not into a canyon, but into hot water, which he would instantly put up his guard and walk on the water. Of course, he'd be confused. Oh my fucking god. Sorry about that, they're annoying. But, of course, he would land on it, and she would jump down, and he would be thinking that she has monster strength. This girl would be known as the Great Sealer. Her strength is rival to Tsunade, and she was her rival. Tsunade was the maker of the Byakuya seal, and she was the maker of sort of a curse mark-like thing, but instead of harming the user, it would heal them by pouring chakra into them, similar to the Byakuya seal, 1,000 healed mark. There are rivals in every category, except Tsunade excels in medical, and the Seal Master excels in seals. And her name is called Inko. Inko Yagi. Oh my god, I couldn't think of a name, so I just wrote down All Might's last name, Inko's. I'm pretty sure that's All Might's last name, but I'm sorry about that. Of course, Inko would say first step of learning ceilings, you need to become much stronger. And I know about the whole technique you use, which you're not allowed to use in the sparring. She would have made some hand signs, which Earth would rise, and she has Earth-style jutsus. She would kick one of them, and it would be sent flying at him, which she would tell him to punch it. Which instinctively, he would punch it, but he would use his twist style, which put a dent in it, but it'll smash into him. She would see he did this and tell him not to use it, and I guess these are a little too big for you. So she would shoot smaller ones, which you dodge and punch. He can break these ones, but the big ones that she was shooting, he could not. They would practice day by day, with Naruto building up a reaction speed greater than he ever had before. Not increasing much speed, but just reaction speed in general. So if he could react to somebody 3 times his speed, with him being slower than them. So yeah. Of course, she would say for our next one, endurance, and this would be a week later, and they train endurance with him getting smashed by the big rocks. But of course, on their spare time, he would be learning sealing jutsus, and she would be studying to make a ultimate seal that could seal off the chakras from mixing like they did. So eventually stopping the Nine Tails chakra from mixing with the Curse Mark's chakra, which it is right now. So yeah. Of course, this would take a while he's learning sealings, and he would show off how he made the whole weight seals, which would say, I never actually made those, but I have something better than that, saying the gravity seals. I know the gravity seals are from the Golden Fox fan-made story that's on Google. You can go look it out. It's pretty good. I know there's a YouTuber reading it. Storms. I forgot. I'm sorry. I forgot your name, but it's something Storms. It was Storm something. I mean, it really is a good fan story, which there are others like that. Actually, I read the 4 dojutsus. It's where Naruto has the Rinnegan, Sharingan, Byakugan, and the Sensei Gon. I can't say it, but I think it's a made up dojutsu. It may be, but it says from the Namikaze. That's why I think it's not true, but it is pretty cool. But yeah, sorry if the person that made that fanfiction doesn't like it, but I'll use it, which he would learn in his studies, but he would not learn it in time. Eventually, after all of his training with speed, Naruto would be stronger, faster, stronger, more durable, I mean, and more reaction speed. All out upgrade on him. And this is whenever she would say, now you're ready for your true training. And the month time has passed with a couple days too. He would explain that we only have a less than a month left, and we have to hurry this. Which she would kick him, which we'd block since he's used to this happening, saying you can't rush this technique of learning how to seal like this. You have learned the fundamentals of seals, right? To store stuff, to enhance your body, just like the curse mark, and to change out everything around them. So are you ready? He would say okay, and he would be taken to an underground area with a huge ceiling circle around it. She would have told him if he can use the shadow clones, and please do, since I don't want to teach you that. It should be used for this seal at the beginning. He would be okay, and he would train. He would make 5 shadow clones. He would sit in the middle while the 5 shadow clones would sit on the 5 other spots around them. And they would be told to do hand signs, and these hand signs were to drain his chakra, which he'd be confused about. And she would say that this is your final test, and drained of his chakra, it would make his other chakras as the curse mark, and the 9 tails would leak into him, which would harm him. She would explain that you have to be able to overcome the chakra that flows into you to seal it properly. So you must control it. If you don't survive this in a matter of 3 days, then I guess you're dead. She would shut the door after leaving a timer on the floor, which Naruto would be completely drained of chakra, getting corrupted by the 2 chakras that are overpowering him, and burning his skin off, but regenerating because of the regenerating ability. He would sit there for the first day in agony, with him trying to break out, but whenever he punches the walls, a mark would show up, which this is a seal that she created that absorbs chakra and frontal shockwaves, and it would send it back at him. It can't be broken, but it's very hard to. So yeah, every time he punches the wall, he'll be smacked back with just the amount of force that he threw at it. So that's what happened on the first day. The second day, she would check up personally, and she would see his chakra with the 9 tails and the curse mark. It just keeps on hurting him and all that. He would see her face, and he would be angry at her, since in his mind he's thinking that she's just trying to kill me. Why do people hate me? Is going through his mind, thinking of his childhood growing up and all that. This would be the first time for this. Then he'd be like, no, I can't die. And he'd try to survive. Of course, it would fail. And whenever he tries this, the chocolate would just get stronger. And more of his skin would blast off and burn. And he'd fall to the ground, smacking into it, which would make him scream in pain. Then he gets the realization that he should just give up. And he would give up for the rest of the day, waking up, feeling hopeless and in despair. He'd grit his teeth, and he would have said this can't be happening, and all that. And finally, at the end of this day, whenever she's coming out, she says to him that if this doesn't get out of control, you will die. One last time, with an hour left, with part of all of his skin completely gone in a burned pile. And of course, in this moment, he would have a flashback of all the good times that he had with the third Hokage, protecting him and teaching himself and helping him with chakra and taking care of him, since he was kept closer to the third Hokage than he was since he was a full Uzumaki. People in the Anbu that were nice, like Kakashi, which he met a few times, and Kakashi's girl that he knows, the purple-haired one. And at this moment, the chakra would disappear, with Naruto doing hand signs, thinking back how to use seals, and he would make his own hand signs, creating a seal as he knows as the Hope Seal, it would be called, which would go over his curse mark and would go over his own seal that was put on the Nine Tails, which you would see the Nine Tails get trapped in a chain around his neck, and a collar would be put on him, while the soul of, Orochimaru would be dispelled and burnt. So yeah, Naruto would stand up, and he would go over to the door, and he would clench his hands, and he would punch it with his increased strength, with a black energy on his fist. Right now, Naruto can seemingly activate small portions of the chakra that from the Nine Tails and the curse mark, but after he punches it, he would still be harmed, and it would cause strain. But of course, it doesn't do as much as it did life-threatening. Of course, he would get out. In these 3 days, there would be 2 weeks left until the time limit that they were given, which Naruto would train on his gravity seals, which he would perfect it with her, and he would put it on level 1. Level 1 is 2 times gravity with his weights. Of course, this would also weigh down his. But, so he would have got ready after these 2 weeks and would left with Dryer already being gone. And he would be told to go to the Mist Village for the training. And he would give in a paper allowing him into the village. This is where I leave off this part. Goodbye.